In 2003, a man named Andrew Carsell was arrested by the FBI for a case of stock market fraud. What made his arrest unusual wasn't just the suspicious way he turned $800 into $350 million in a span of 2 weeks. It was his claim that he was a time traveler from the year 2256. This story became a sensation and still remains one of the most peculiar mysteries of the early 21st century. Today, let's dive into the case of Andrew Carsell, the so-called time traveler, and explore the science behind time travel and its connection to this mystery. To fully understand the story, let's break it down into 2 parts: the actual events surrounding Carsell and the science behind the concept of time travel. First, the background. Andrew Carsell was supposedly arrested in 2003 for insider trading. Reports claim that Carsell managed to make near-impossible stock market predictions during a time when the market was volatile. He allegedly started with $800 and in just 2 weeks turned it into $350 million through 126 highly profitable trades. The accuracy of these trades was so improbable that it caught the attention of the FBI. In his confession, Carsell supposedly told investigators that he was from the year 2256 and had access to future knowledge that allowed him to manipulate the stock market for personal gain. He also reportedly offered to reveal the whereabouts of Osama bin Laden and the cure for AIDS in exchange for leniency. Despite the sensational nature of this story, one thing stands out: no official records of Carsell exist. The story was first reported by the Weekly World News, a tabloid famous for fabricating stories. So this leads us to believe that the story was more likely a hoax than reality. Many skeptics point out that no verifiable sources corroborated the claim, and after the story made headlines, it disappeared as quickly as it appeared. Carsell never showed up again, leading many to conclude that the entire episode was a media fabrication. Now, let's shift to the scientific angle. Time travel is a concept that has intrigued scientists, philosophers, and writers for centuries. While Carsell's story is most likely fiction, the idea of time travel has been explored in theoretical physics, particularly through the lens of Einstein's theory of relativity. Einstein's general theory of relativity describes how time and space are interconnected in a 4-dimensional space-time fabric. The theory allows for the possibility of time dilation, where time moves slower in areas of intense gravitational fields. For example, near a black hole, time would pass more slowly relative to someone far away from the gravitational pull. This is not the type of time travel we see in movies, where people can travel centuries into the future or the past at will. But it's one form of time warping that has been scientifically observed. Another scientific concept that touches on time travel is the existence of wormholes. The wormholes are hypothetical shortcuts through space-time, potentially allowing travel between 2 distant points much faster than traditional space travel would allow. Some theories suggest that, in principle, a wormhole could be used to travel through time. However, creating and stabilizing a wormhole would require exotic forms of matter with negative energy, something that has yet to be discovered or produced. There is also the idea of closed time-like curves, which are solutions to Einstein's equations of general relativity that could theoretically allow an object to loop back on itself in time. These curves would allow for backward time travel under very specific conditions, although these conditions remain speculative. However, even if time travel were possible, it would come with enormous paradoxes. The most famous of these is the grandfather paradox, which asks what happens if a time traveler goes back in time and prevents their grandfather from meeting their grandmother. This would prevent the time traveler from being born. But if they were never born, how could they go back in time in the first place? So, is time travel possible? In theory, the mathematics and physics behind certain types of time travel are sound, but in practice, we are very far from achieving it, if it's possible at all. Even if Andrew Carsell's story was true, there's no scientific framework today that supports the kind of time travel he claimed to have used. The story of Andrew Carsell is most likely a hoax, an entertaining piece of fiction designed to capture imaginations rather than a true event. While science does explore concepts like time dilation, wormholes, and closed time-like curves, these ideas remain firmly in the realm of theoretical physics and have not been proven or demonstrated in a practical sense. The mystery of Andrew Carsell is a reminder of how easily sensational stories can take on a life of their own, but it also highlights the fascinating and still largely unexplored field of time travel science. So, while Andrew Carsell may not have actually been a time traveler, the science behind the possibility of time travel continues to intrigue and inspire us to think beyond the boundaries of our current understanding of the universe. Subscribe.